Bojo, Wache, Sego, Segoli, Ani. Shalom, Shana Tova. My name is Isidore Day. I'm the Ontario Regional Chief. Let me begin with a simple protocol. The protocol is about reconciliation and recognition. It's also about respecting these lands in which we gather and where we convene our meetings. In our protocols, the First Nations in Ontario and right across the country take time to acknowledge the territory in which we are and the governing First Nations. And in this case, we acknowledge Chief Stacey Laforme and the Mississaugas of New Credit. But if you go back in time, this territory has a deep history of coexistence. When we look at the issue of reconciliation, we know that the Jewish community and First Nation people in this country have a lot in common. Yes, we speak about reconciliation, but we also know about the legacy that occurred in each of our communities. And it's that legacy that we work through with strength, resilience, and a direct effort towards healing. And it's this type of work that I think is important in a potential partnership that First Nations can have with the Jewish community on the issue of reconciliation. And over the last couple of years, we've been taking time with various leaders throughout the Jewish community, to understand a little bit more about the history of the Holocaust and the long path towards healing that took place in your community, but also too the work that's been done, in countries where there has been a misunderstanding, where there has been, a need for education. First Nation people in Canada today have a very long road ahead to undo the impacts of colonialism and the impacts of the residential school system. But it's through partnerships that we establish here in Canada with the Jewish community in particular around issues of reconciliation and examining the issues and impacts of genocide, where we're going to become stronger, not just as people, but where we're going to become stronger as a country, as a nation. I think that there is a lot of work to do, but overall we will help one another, and it is times like this where we reflect on who we are, where we've been in the past year, those things that we want to accomplish in the next leg of the journey. And in this case, helping one another and taking time to learn about the resiliency and the strength that has been generated through tragedy and through legacy. This is the work we do together. Reconciliation and the history that has been so much part of Canada over the last couple of years. It's time now to allow that to take a new shape, a new partnership. And in Canada, I think First Nations and the Jewish community have a lot to contribute to the greater good of a country. One of the things that is very clear is that the dark history that Canada has as a colonizer, as a settler society, it does need time to have those wounds opened up, to air those wounds and to heal those wounds. And in healing those wounds, we become stronger as a people. And that's the kind of work that the Jewish community and First Nations can work on together. Hatima Tova, Shalom. Thank you.